home prices are basically skyrocketing right now. We all know this, okay? And by the way, home prices are at an all-time high to the point where they're higher than they were. For example, we haven't seen these gains in property basically since 2005. Now, tell me, why does this figure matter? 2005? Because remember, guys, okay, in 2005, people were able to walk into a bank, lie about their income, and buy whatever house they actually wanted to. Because remember, this is pre 2008 where we had the whole crash. So things were not that orderly as there are right now. Now, obviously right now, the real estate market is going crazy. Prices are going up like crazy because basically the rates are down, meaning it's cheap to go ahead and buy a home, right? Because you don't got to pay that much money to the bank because you're able to actually afford it because interest rates are so low. Now, remember, right? People don't care if they can afford the asset. They care if they can basically afford the monthly payments. But if you're a part of the long-term team, you don't think this way. You think basically, hey, can I afford this asset, right? Can I afford to buy a house not for $1,000 per month, but for basically $100,000? Does it actually make sense? So overall, if you ask me, Tommy, what's going to happen here? The answer is, as we already know, the Fed is signaling that they might go ahead and basically increase the rates, right? Or higher the rates, which basically means at that point, interest rates are going to go up, which means it is more expensive to borrow money, which means people are not going to be able to say, hey, I'm going to borrow X amount of money to be able to qualify for this home because now the payments are lower. No, it'll be a little bit more harder to basically qualify to actually buy a home because the payments are going to be higher. So by that point, I am predicting at some point, pretty soon most likely, if the Fed raises the rates, the real estate prices are probably going to slow down just a bit. However, though, from a personal standpoint, Tommy, does this mean I should be waiting until this happens? So I shouldn't be buying anything right now whatsoever? The answer is, personally, if you're buying personal real estate for yourself, you want to base your budget on your budget, right? Your actual income. So if the math makes sense, you buy a home. You can't be waiting for the market to crash, things to correct, because you don't know when that's going to happen. That can happen, for example, this year, or it can happen, for example, in 10 years, or 5 years, or 6 years, and then you've been renting for the past 10 years, right? So you can't wait on that. You just got to make sure the math makes sense for you. So again, for everyone that is new here, when we're buying properties for personal use, we're using the 33% rule, where the property we buy together, for example, with the mortgage, PMI, insurance, taxes, everything together does not exceed 33% of our monthly income on a 15-year mortgage. So if you can find a property that fits that budget, go ahead and buy it, because guess what? You can afford it. And that's the most important thing. As far as, for example, from an investment basis where you're trying to buy a property for investment basis, well, usually investors don't really care that much about the market because they're looking for deals, right? They're looking for opportunities, which basically means whenever I buy a property, I'm not paying the market price or the market value. I'm paying, for example, between 10 to 20% on a discount because I'm going to offer that person a suitor deal to actually close a lot faster. That's the whole idea there. But again, when it comes to the real estate market, do not fall for the game of, hey, I can afford the monthly payments, which basically means I can afford the property. The answer is no. Make sure it fits your budget, that 33% rule on a 15-year mortgage. That way, things make a lot of sense. Remember, right? If a property is only a third of your income, you have around 67% left of your money to do whatever you need to do, like invest in and handle business. That's the core idea. You don't want to be like one of these people spending half their income on a property. Not good, not good.